Ja, kwaliteit.
Lekker.
Kwaliteit.
Dat begint echt al goed in te doen.
Hij is gewoon asfalt eraf was gegaan.
I strongly believe that for many people it's important to not do the same thing over and over again. Sometimes it's good to step outside of the comfort zone, try something new, and to have that look over the fence. I am certainly also one of those people who likes to shake it up from time to time. In my preparation for Unbound 200, time is running out fast and I need to gain some fitness really quickly. And in that pursuit of fitness, I am off with my team for a ride through the hills of Limburg. The ride was over 100 kilometers long, and next to the uphill efforts, there was also this sporadic sign sprint that needed to be won. As you can see, the route took us along some amazing roads with only a little traffic. But as always, when you're riding on public roads, an accident is never far away. There can always be that occasional driver who is not paying attention. That was a nice little wake-up call. Luckily we were unharmed and we could continue our ride.
Ja, ik heb ook
This ride was just a little warm-up for what was waiting for me the next day, which definitely is outside of my comfort zone. So last winter I picked up my running routine again. For me it was the perfect escape from cycling, and also it provided some really good training in the darkest months of the year. But for me that casual run around the neighborhood isn't enough to get me outside of the comfort zone. What I needed was something where I could push both my physical and mental limits. And then I ran into this advertisement for a 16-kilometer long trail run. Because it would be my first trail run ever, well, at least it would push some of my limits. So I guess you're pretty curious now on how that whole trail run went. So let's not waste any more time. Let's tie up the shoes and see how this went. So the start of this trail run is at a horse riding school, and we're currently running with around 200 runners here. And as you can see, the horses did their work to the field, and despite the nice weather, the surface is still pretty wet. And you can see that some of the runners had a little bit of bad luck there.
schoen kwijt. Ja, ik zag hem omdraaien.
Here we hit the first corner and it's still pretty crowded because there's a lot of the 5k and 10k runners in this field as well.
Het is glad hier.
Yeah, so as I pointed out here, it was a little bit slippery here from time to time, but as we're moving up this climb and get to higher ground, you do see that it's drying up a little bit. I'm also able to pass the first runners here, and I'm hoping to find a little bit of room to run at my own pace. We have just successfully passed the finish line for the first time, and I'm now running on the lap that we will have to do 4 times in total. The lap holds 2 big climbs for us, and now I'm running on the first big climb. As I'm trying to follow the guy with the black-orange shirt, I'm coming at the top of the first climb here on the tarmac, and we run on this tarmac for a little while before we head back in the forest again and start descending the first climb. It's nothing too technical in this first descent, but there are some areas where you need to watch out a little bit. From here on, it's only a short period of recovery before we hit the steep second climb. It's only a shorter one, but definitely this one hurts. From the top of the second climb, we hit a U-turn and then we go into the descent to the finish line. This descent is a little bit more gnarly than the first one. I think mainly it's because of the speed. I'm not so used to running at these speeds, and I'm struggling to really hold on here. With the first lap almost finished, we just are going to cross the finish line and we're heading back to the first long climb again. And as you can see here, there's not too many people in front of me, so it's really important here that I find my own pace and don't lose too much time. But maybe even more important is that I save some energy for the second part of the race, because it's only the second time that we're running up this climb and we still have a long way to go. Since we are running in laps, it does mean that I need to pass a lot of people that are a little bit further behind.
Pardon. Hey, dankjewel.
The good thing is, most of the people were actually really kind and stepped aside.
Kom net van links langs, hè? Hey, dankjewel.
Since I was stuck behind traffic for a little while, this serious looking dude was able to catch up with me.
Serious dude.
Since his pace matched mine pretty well, I decided to follow him for a little while. On the climbs, however, he seemed to struggle a little bit and I felt a little bit stronger, so we were like going back and forth in positions from time to time. And as I hit the top of the second climb, there's this guy in the orange shirt who is blasting by and he's totally dropping me in the descent of the second climb towards the finish line. Just have a look here at the gap that he opened up in that single one descent, and I can just say technique is important.
Is gewoon helemaal voor jullie. Klasse.
As I'm entering the third lap here, the guy with the sticks is again overtaking me. He was able to catch up with me in the descent because of my lack of technique. As we are starting the third lap, I'm also starting to notice that my legs are a little bit more fatigued and I'm struggling to hold on with this guy on the climb. I'm trying to fix that with a quick gel, but it seems that his pace is just a little bit too high. As we hit the top of the first climb again, I'm trying to close the gap on him because he seemed to be slowing down a little bit. This is also where I kill my legs a little bit, just by being a little bit too competitive, I guess. As we are slowly moving towards the narrow descent, we are in overtaking mode again. On the uphills I'm still able to follow him, but on the faster descents I'm struggling more and more and I'm losing ground meter by meter. As we are hitting that narrow descent, he's just running away from me and he's getting out of sight pretty quickly.
Pas op. Dankjewel.
Since I came across quite a lot of traffic in the descent, I needed to be a little bit careful with overtaking.
Hey. Jesus fucking descents. Killing my legs.
We are now 12 kilometers deep into the trail run and I only got the last lap to do.
Kom op, hè. Hey.
Luckily there was some support along the way, which was really nice. The guy with the sticks has pretty much disappeared out of sight and I have the feeling that there is nobody behind me as well, so I just want to have a quick peek. There was a group of runners just behind me, so I needed to keep on pushing myself and really dig deep on this last time up the first climb. As I'm approaching the last climb of the day, I started to notice that somebody was closing the gap really quickly. We are now at the bottom of the climb and my legs are screaming as this guy is passing me. I'm just about to give up, but then I noticed that he's struggling. For me this was a sign to not give up and just push towards the finish line. As I'm rounding up the top of this climb, I'm just heavily breathing and just giving everything I still have left in the tank. From here on, it's just 1 kilometer left, a big sufferfest towards the finish line.
De Hendriksen die nu binnenkomen. Proficiat lopen.
Klasse, man. Ik denk jij loopt er nog wel voorbij, laatste stukje, maar...
Nee, om klasse.
Altijd zo'n fik.
Yeah, this 16-kilometer long trail run was definitely a little bit outside of my comfort zone. I must admit that. And did it give me everything which I expected it to give me beforehand? Well, yeah, I think so. Is it the perfect preparation for a 200-mile long cycling race? Well, I don't know, but I think if you never try it, you will never find out. So let's see how the legs recover from this one, and that is something that you will see in the next episode. Please let me know in the comments if you've ever participated in such a trail run yourself, or if you're using running as an alternative training next to cycling as well. Don't forget to subscribe, and please do a thumbs up if you like this video. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye bye.